Did you see that when DB came back and played for us, that they got mad that our fan base was booing her?
I don't believe in booing former players unless they left on like some you type shit.
Sophie Cunningham just dropped the most shocking bombshell about DeWanna Bonner's controversial exit from the Indiana Fever, and what she revealed is absolutely jaw-dropping. The Phoenix Mercury guard, who played alongside Bonner in both Phoenix and Indiana, finally broke her silence about why the veteran really abandoned Caitlin Clark and her teammates mid-season. Cunningham didn't hold back when she exposed Bonner's unprofessional behavior on her podcast, calling out actions that left everyone stunned. The inside details she spilled about what really happened behind closed doors changes everything we thought we knew about this drama. This isn't just another WNBA controversy. This is a complete character assassination from someone who witnessed it all firsthand. If you want to see how this story gets even crazier, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more shocking WNBA revelations.
I like DB because like DB was one of my vets when I was in Phoenix, and then we gathered here into Indiana, and like it was kind of a surprise that she was signed to Indiana anyway, and so we'll take her in a heartbeat. Like she's a Hall of Famer, she's a hell of a basketball player, can score from anywhere on the court.
When DeWanna Bonner signed with the Indiana Fever, it looked like the perfect veteran addition to complement Caitlin Clark's rising stardom. This wasn't just any pickup. Bonner brought Hall of Fame credentials and championship experience that seemed tailor-made for Indiana's championship aspirations. The press conferences painted a beautiful picture of mentorship and veteran leadership. Bonner stood at that podium, saying all the right things about being excited to guide Clark and contribute to team success. She positioned herself as the missing piece, ready to provide crucial scoring and locker room presence. Clark herself bought into the hype completely, noting that Bonner had the strongest voice in their locker room. Everything looked picture-perfect on paper, and Fever fans finally had reason to believe their young superstar would have the veteran guidance she desperately needed. Then reality hit like a freight train. Bonner's actual performance told a completely different story than those glowing press conferences promised. Over just 9 games, she managed a pathetic 7.1 points per game, with shooting numbers that made everyone question if they were watching the same player they'd signed. Her 3.8 rebounds and 1.6 assists weren't just underwhelming, they were downright embarrassing for someone with her reputation. What the statistics only revealed part of the catastrophe. What really stood out was how completely disinterested Bonner appeared on the court. She moved like someone who didn't want to be there, going through the motions while her teammates fought for every possession. Fans started scratching their heads, teammates began exchanging confused glances, and the coaching staff found themselves in an impossible situation with their supposed veteran leader. The situation reached its breaking point when coach Stephanie White made the difficult decision to bench Bonner after just 3 games. Think about that for a second. Benching a supposed Hall of Fame veteran just weeks into the season. But what happened next transformed Bonner from a disappointing player into a complete mystery. One day, she was sitting on the bench, barely contributing, and the next day, she was just gone. The Indiana Fever started listing her absences as personal reasons, which became sports speak for nobody knows what's happening. Games came and went, with fans scanning the bench, wondering where their expensive veteran signing had disappeared to. The team kept giving vague updates about personal circumstances, but nobody was buying these hollow explanations. You could see the confusion in Coach White's face during press conferences when reporters pressed for real answers about Bonner's status. Then the pieces started falling into place in the most infuriating way possible. Those mysterious personal reasons weren't family emergencies or health problems. They were cover for Bonner's master plan to return to Phoenix. The audacity was absolutely breathtaking when news broke that she wanted to join the Mercury immediately, not after the season ended. Her personal reasons were revealed as nothing more than buyer's remorse and selfishness. This wasn't about circumstances beyond her control. This was about a veteran who took Indiana's money and decided she didn't want to honor her commitment. When Bonner finally spoke publicly, her response was even more infuriating. "I wouldn't do anything differently. My journey is my journey." No apology, no acknowledgement of how her actions affected teammates. Just pure arrogance about abandoning people who counted on her. Sophie Cunningham occupied the perfect position to expose this entire mess. She had played alongside Bonner in Phoenix, reunited with her in Indiana, and witnessed the complete drama unfold from the inside. When someone with that kind of access decides to speak up on their podcast, you know the real story is about to surface. On her show, Show Me Something, Cunningham confirmed what everyone suspected but couldn't prove. Bonner really wasn't happy during her time with the Fever. But Cunningham's revelation went much deeper than just admitting Bonner was miserable. She called out the veteran's unprofessional handling of her departure in ways that exposed Bonner's true character. This wasn't coming from some random analyst throwing stones. This was testimony from someone who knew Bonner personally and was willing to go on record about her teammates' unacceptable behavior. Here's where Cunningham really went for the throat and exposed Bonner's complete lack of basic human decency. She explained exactly how the situation should have been handled professionally, and her criticism was surgical precision. "I'm still rooting for her and want her to be happy, but it's okay to be professional about it and send a text to your teammates," Cunningham revealed. Then she got even more specific about the disrespect. "Send a text saying, 'Hey, sorry this didn't work out. Good luck. There's a way to handle that.'" Think about what Cunningham was really saying here. She wasn't asking for some grand gesture or emotional goodbye speech. She was talking about basic courtesy that any decent person would show. A simple text message acknowledgement. The fact that Bonner couldn't even manage that minimal level of respect showed exactly who she really was underneath all those press conference promises. July 30th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse delivered the confrontation everyone had been waiting for with perfect poetic justice. The moment Bonner stepped onto that court wearing a Phoenix jersey, the Indianapolis crowd absolutely unleashed on her. The boos started during warm-ups and never stopped, making it crystal clear how fans felt about her betrayal. What made this scene even more satisfying was watching Caitlin Clark from the bench, living her best life as her former teammate got roasted. Despite being sidelined with injury, Clark was jumping up and celebrating every defensive stop against the player who had abandoned her. The contrast was beautiful. Clark's loyalty to her team versus Bonner's selfish abandonment. Then came the ultimate satisfaction when Bonner's performance matched her character, a pathetic 4 points on terrible shooting, while her former teammates dominated without her drama and negativity. DeWanna Bonner's betrayal turned out to be the best thing that could have happened to the Indiana Fever. Sophie Cunningham's courage to speak the truth exposed a veteran who chose selfishness over professionalism, money over commitment. The team discovered they were stronger without someone who didn't want to fight alongside them. New players integrated seamlessly into a culture built on respect and dedication. While Bonner got booed in the building she abandoned, her former teammates celebrated victories and built something special. Sometimes the trash takes itself out, and Indiana learned they never needed someone who would ghost her teammates without even a goodbye text.